Hey guys, so I finally finished all of the books, and that's exciting because it means I get to buy another book. I am collecting these. I'm going to do some Christmas shopping. Anyways, I'm pretty sure that I recorded most of my thoughts on these books. So let's get right into the first book that I read, and I'll be back to give you my new ranking here in a moment. Hey guys, so I read the first of the 5 for my rank challenge, and I gave the first one a 4.5. So it's the Dead Witch Walking, and that is my comparison, and I really liked it. The only reason it was a 4.5 is because there seemed to be very little growth in the main character in the first book. It's just one of those things where she was very finite in her trust and inability to admit she was wrong or even see that she upset somebody. Like, we kind of got there, but not really. I do hope that it's going to get, she's going to change throughout the series because it is a series. So that is my expectation, which is why I'm not too butthurt about it not happening too terribly much in the first book. Yeah. There was a little bit much teasing at the end with the vampire. So that's my thoughts currently. Okay, so I'm gonna update you real quick because I'm at work and there's somebody in the back. I didn't tell you guys that I was reading The Utterly Uninteresting Adventures of Fred the Vampire Accountant. 7-hour book, super easy to get through, took me 2 days. Had a few issues with it. There's a lot of telling and repeating because there was 5 stories in it, and we kept getting the setup, although a little bit different each time, which was helpful. But it had decent pacing, decent twists. I did enjoy those. Interesting take on paranormal creatures and myths, which is something I absolutely love. So that was a big, big bonus for this book. It also had nice endings to the stories, and even the last story was a nice last story for the collection. I do think there are more in the series. If they're all short stories, I don't know if I'll keep going with it, but it was pretty interesting and very different from what I'm used to. There were some times when I did roll my eyes at the cliches and the obvious, trying to create tension, but knowing that it wasn't gonna end badly. So, things that I liked. 1, the overall consistency of Fred as a character. His sweater vest as a vampire, especially in the LARPing situation where we like the different take on your view of this character as a vampire, because he was playing a vampire because he was really bad at lying. I really love the sweet, horny teenage zombie. The giant pony shifter was another really cool one. The 7-year-old with the really deep voice, who was actually a dragon, and the tinctures to get paranormals high, created by warlocks. All interesting things. Right now it's number 2 out of 2, but I still have 3 more to go, so we'll see what happens. I should be reading the Trisha Levenseller next. So we'll see how that goes. Alright, that's that. So I read the first bit of The Ignorant Witch by E.M. Graham, and this is for my first line ranking challenge. And honestly, in the first paragraph, I knew I was going to DNF this book. I tried to make it through the first chapter and I didn't get that far. It was just a whole bunch of info dumpy, telling, lack of punctuation, needed editing kind of situation. And I see a lot of people like it, and that's cool. It is just not something that I can read. It's just not. I did think about giving a demonstration by editing the first couple pages of it. I don't know if that's rude, but I would love to show you guys what I mean when I say these kinds of things and sound really pompous. So this one's gonna be last because I just couldn't read it. I couldn't read it. So I'm gonna count it, but I'm not gonna rate it because I didn't read it. Okay, 2 more to go. Oh, and by the way, while I'm here, I am halfway through Trisha Levenseller's The Shadows Between Us, and I'm loving it. I'm not surprised. I loved her last book that I read, and I like violence and sex, so she's hitting all the buttons, and the tension, and the angst, and the magic, and there's just so many things that are good. Yeah, okay y'all, so 82% of the way through The Shadows Between Us. I didn't want to stop reading it, but it was 11 at night and I had to go to bed for work. So today I'm going to finish it. And to be honest, I dreamt about the two of them all night. Interesting. So apparently this is my kind of book. So far, it's in the #1 spot. Just finished The Shadows Between Us, and I already want to read it again. Like, total 5-star. Totally hit all of like the tropes you would expect in this, but in a way that, one, I was expecting it, but two, I was surprised by it, and who did it wasn't who I thought it was, and it just makes me super excited. Sorry, I'm at work, but oh my god, guys, Trisha Levenseller definitely has to be a new favorite. This is the second book by hers that I've loved, so yeah. So far she's in the #1 spot. I've got one more book to read, which is J. Kristoff, Dark Dawn, and so I know his are 5 stars for me too, so we'll have to see who battles it out for the top spot. Alright, I'm gonna go back to work now. So I just have to say, listening to Dark Dawn, that J. Kristoff is funny as fuck with his footnotes and his constant meta-commentary about the world and stuff. Okay, my top lip is numb because I'm just coming from the dentist, so I'm gonna stop here, but he's funny. Still really numb, so it doesn't really move that much if you can't tell, see? Anyways, so I just want to update you guys about earlier, previous to what I was just talking about. I got to a part with Trick and Ashlyn, and I would just like to say how much I don't like Ashlyn. I didn't like her in the last book. I still don't like her in this book. I want me to be with Trick. It's not gonna happen. And I know it. Part of that, I read spoilers and it made me super upset. So, it's not ruining the book, it just made me super upset. I love Trick. Hi, Kitty. I love Trick. I hate Ashlyn. I know what's gonna happen. I don't think Ashlyn deserves the end she's gonna get, but well, we'll see if he can't convince me. He's a pretty good author, so. Alright, here's my update so far. This is my last one for the first line challenge, so I'm excited to get this done. Alright, so my ranking did change only slightly. Only slightly. My original ranking was The Shadows Between Us, then Deadwood Walking, then Dark Dawn, then The Utterly Uninteresting Adventures of, oh my god, I can't remember his name, but he's a vampire accountant, and then Ignorant Witch. Those were what I thought I was going to enjoy. Now, I keep going back and forth between my top two, which I have to say, I was pretty close with my original ranking. The Shadows Between Us was fantastic, and I know I want to reread it immediately. And as a standalone versus the third in a trilogy, Dark Dawn, which was fantastic. Oh my god. But it ended, it ended the series, so it's got that extra bump. But on its own, does it stand up against... See, I keep going back and forth between the two of these things. And part of me wants to keep it in the order that I have it, because the merit of the standalone and the wanting to reread it again, that's redundant, to reread it is something that I don't do a lot of. I don't reread a lot of books. Sometimes I have very specific reasons for it, but if it's just a book, just to read a book again, like a standalone especially, I think that says a lot. So I kind of want to keep it in its first place. But J. Kristoff is a master. I've liked everything that he wrote, and just because I disliked characters and disliked how the relationships ended up and the choices that they made, I get it writing-wise, and it didn't change the story enough for me to like knock it down points or anything for my preferences. Just because I would have wrote it a different way doesn't mean that the way he wrote it was wrong. So, which one do I choose? So can we call it a tie? We'll just call me right, because they were both great. And it was kind of anticlimactic of an ending. I'm so sorry. But I apparently could rank them properly the first time by the first sentence. Okay, we're gonna have to try this again to see if I can do this again, because yeah, okay. Thank you for watching, guys. Did you predict that I was right? Let me know if you read any of these books, and let me know if you'd like to see this again but with maybe some books that you guys suggest, because I find that would be really, really fun. All right. Anyways, thank you for being here. I really, really appreciate you. I really, really appreciate all the new people who have been subscribing. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. I think I've said that 5 times now. All right. See you later. Bye.